Hello and welcome back to the Dragon's Library. Today I have a special tweet as Halloween has come early this year, and it is all thanks to a new movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Now, unless you're a big old school horror fan, that title probably doesn't mean much, so I will enlighten you. The Demeter was a ship from Bram Stoker's Dracula, specifically the original book, not the movie, that washed ashore with no crew. Upon examination of the captain's log, they find a record of how the crew were slowly picked off one by one as a mysterious figure drove them to madness and death. The movie front-loads all this, so I'll go ahead and confirm that, yep, Dracula hired the ship to bring him to London, and he ate the crew as snacks along the way. Now, before anyone cries spoilers about that, A, it's part of one of those famous horror stories in history. B, the movie front-loads all this, so we even see the wrecked ship in the prologue, and C, Dracula's in the freaking trailer. Moving on to the movie itself, the film is directed by Andre Overedel. I probably mispronounced that. And released by Universal. It takes the small set of captain's logs from the original book and expands it into a 2-hour-long take of a damned crew getting picked off one by a horrific monster. After the intro, the story follows Clemens, a British doctor searching for passage back to England, who accepts a position on a cargo ship called the Demeter. After a few local recruits are scared off while helping to pick up some mysterious packages people wouldn't help them with, hint hint, so since they need some last-minute crew members, Clemens gets at it. And he comes in handy too when one of the crates is opened by accident, revealing a strange girl who eventually reveals herself to be named Anna. She's unconscious and suffering from a strange infection, which requires a blood transfusion to treat, though she remains unconscious for several more days. Quick aside, and a little weird detail, back when Dracula was first written, it used blood transfusions as a remedy for vampire attacks. Since the technology was so new at the time, they were just kind of ignored things like blood type. So if you're wondering about that, well, there's your answer. They just didn't think of it. And this movie is trying to replicate the same feel as those original books. Anyway, after some strange things start to happen shortly after finding Anna, the dog belonging to the son of the captain goes missing and is found dead, followed by all the other animals on board. Fearing a disease, possibly rabies, they throw the corpses overboard. It is then the crew begin to see and hear strange things in the night, before finally they start going missing, one by one. Just as the paranoia reaches its highest, Anna awakens and reveals the monster hunting them is a monstrous abomination from her home, and they are all his food. So, yeah, The Last Voyage of the Demeter was a breath of fresh air for me personally. I really enjoy a good horror movie, and this one came out of nowhere for me. The movie gives vampires their fangs back. Nothing aside from maybe the strain has really done something like this for me personally. The Dracula in this movie is a classic, gangly, Nosferatu-style monster. Take that, Renfield, and your stupid jokes. He is an unstoppable force of nature to the characters, and even when you think you know where he is, you can never be sure. There are several scenes, particularly the one with the locked cabin door and the kid, that rank as some of the best scenes in a horror movie for me personally. While the film still uses CGI, it also uses plenty of practical effects and tends to focus on the claustrophobic terror that the characters experience as Dracula hunts them with no escape in this cramped ship. The characters are also fairly likable, and it's gut-wrenching to watch the paranoia and fear tear them to shreds, until the final few decide the only thing they can really do is just take him down with them. And we already know they fail. Unlike nearly every form of media, it also portrays Dracula as an unknowable horror. The characters don't know how vampires work, and as a result, don't even think to drag him off into the sunlight until it's far too late. They don't know how to stake him in the heart, or any of his other weaknesses he may possess. Even Anna only knows he's intelligent, powerful, and drinks blood. When was the last time vampires felt like an actual overwhelming threat? I mean, I guess Castlevania's Netflix adaptation, we're getting a spinoff for that, but most modern vampire movies just assume everyone past the 1900s knows how to kill a vampire, or at least the basic lore on Dracula, and have to take that into account. But since this is set in the original vampire story, way before all of that, with no monster hunters or Van Helsings, none of the characters even know what a vampire is. I don't think they even say the word. Which makes Dracula feel actually threatening. Go figure! Moving on from my praise, as much as I always try to be objective with movies, this one is no exception, so I'm going to talk about some of the things I didn't really like. While excellently paced for the most part, the movie is a little long, especially for such a simple story. 2 hours is a lot, and I think an hour and 45 or an hour and 30-minute runtime would have worked better. The start in particular is a little slow. I think you could have cut out some bits there, here or there to trim that down. Dracula doesn't show up for a while. In addition, while I really did enjoy the characters, I thought they were all fairly well fleshed out and written, I would have preferred the movie to focus a little less on Clemens the Doctor, played by Corey Hawkins, and a bit more on the Captain, played by Liam Cunningham, and his second mate, played by David Dust Malkin. In the end, this has made me eager for more Dracula stuff from Andre Overredel, and I will inevitably be disappointed. Okay, so I don't usually talk about like box office and how well it's doing financially, because I personally think that doesn't always equate to how good a movie can be. Some things are just niche, or they can be really good, but they're not kind of thing a general audience would like. I still find it amazing that Everything Everywhere All at Once actually did really well at the box office. Like my parents even going to go see it, and they don't see anything weird. But this is one of those things that cost $45 million to make, and it only made back $7.6 million. So I can see the writing on the wall. Personally, I blame a mixture of things, though. Not just what the movie is, but how it was released and marketed. There's the title, the fact that it's a period horror movie, which is already a hard sell, and it was dropped in the middle of August out of nowhere. Like, even I didn't really see this thing coming. And I try to keep generally up to date. Not like as up to date as some professional critics, but I'm aware of the major movie releases a few weeks before they come out, at least. I told my parents what this was, and I had to explain what it was, like what it was about, and why it was called this. And that second one is never a good sign. This is a big red flag for the marketing, and period horror is already, like I said, a hard sell. It's a very niche thing. A lot of horror movies, you want like the very obvious stuff. Going for like a period drama, but it's a horror movie, is a difficult sell for most mainstream audiences, especially outside of Halloween. Like if you had said, this is a movie about Dracula, and you released it in, midway through October, I think this would have done way better. Maybe there's some big movie I'm forgetting that is going to like eat its sales, but I still think it would have done better because people were actively going to seek out scary movies around that time. The studio did this no favors is what I'm saying, but apparently the trailer did play in front of Oppenheimer, so people knew it existed, so I can't really say the studio did nothing for it, I guess. It's just, I feel like they could have waited a month or two and had this have better sales. So I don't understand why they released it early. In conclusion, this is one of the best vampire movies I've seen in a long time. Probably the best Dracula movie I've seen in ages. Please, people, if you like horror, if you like vampires, if you like Dracula, if you like just creepy stuff, give this a shot. It is very well made. The production is good. I really don't want this to make studios decide that all vampires don't need to look like Nosferatu. Like, that's just the bad decision. You know how committees work. They'll look at this and they'll pick the pettiest shit to decide, well, this didn't work. Instead of bad timing, other major releases, and not releasing the horror movie in October. What the hell is wrong with you? Sorry. 9 out of 10, I really recommend this one. So, yeah. Moving on from there, we have the announcements. Hello, everybody. So, this is probably going to get edited on Wednesday, and I'm hoping to release it that day. I was not able to stream on Tuesday. I have work, and I'm on call this week, and they needed me, so no stream. Unfortunate. However, I am going to be going back to streaming on Thursday, assuming there's no last-minute call, because work comes first. And I am also going to go see Oppenheimer. I've decided I'm going to finally go see it, go watch it. It's a big movie. I'm not really into those kind of dramas, like those historical dramas, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really like watching what is essentially a very dramatized version of a documentary, but I'll watch it, fine. It's Christopher Nolan. He'll at least make it entertaining. In addition to that, I am going to be reviewing a new book. I'm currently reading The City of Dusk by Tara Sim. It had a sequel come out this year, so I'm going to go and read the previous book, and then I'm going to read the sequel and kind of review them together. I'm also working on an Inherent Cycle review. For those of you who like my book reviews, please come watch my book reviews. They're fun. And I'm going to review the Inherent Cycle before Murtaugh comes out, I swear. Promise you. Please don't listen to me a promise I don't keep. I am also working to finish Dave the Diver so I can make a review on that. So you've got a lot of stuff coming out. We've got some movies, we've got some books, we've got some video games. So look forward to all those coming in the future, and I will see you all next time. Now we have the end card. This is the video YouTube recommends, playlist of stuff from this year. Here's the subscribe board. Go to my channel, subscribe. It means a lot, seriously. I really want to get to triple digits. We're at like 85 right now. I know it's pathetic, but like I think it's amazing that 85 people decided they'd like to regularly check in on this channel, and that some people like come back regularly. It's just amazing to me. I don't know why you guys watch me. So yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.